Welcome to another issue of the BodyMind Living magazine. This month we are exploring redefining your purpose. Now, when I started to think about writing this article, a memory flooded back to me. I was at a workshop when I was pretty early on in my personal development journey. And the workshop leader, the retreat leader, had us all go around the room and say what our purpose was. And my body went into paralyzing shock. At that time, I was not comfortable doing video. I was not doing any sort of social media, Facebook Lives. I don't even think they were a thing at that time. But even in school, when I had to read out loud, my body would just tense up. I was a very, very shy kid. So any sort of public speaking made my face get all hot and red and my throat close up and literally sent me into like a freeze response. So here I am going around the circle. I'm hearing everybody else with these amazing, life's purpose. And I'm just dreading my turn. I'm like, why did I come to this workshop? Why did I pay to put myself through this terror? And it came my turn. I don't even remember what I said. I kind of fumbled my way through it. And then afterward, I beat myself up because it sounded stupid and crappy and it wasn't anything profound. And I felt like I missed my opportunity to actually vocalize my purpose. This has happened more than once to me. Can you relate? If so, please let me know, because I find often that as healers, as feelers, as people who are just sensitive and in touch with the world, right? We have a big purpose, but sometimes maybe we're shy or introverted, and it can be hard for us to express that. That has certainly been my journey. And after that workshop, I just kind of felt bad about myself. And I was like, you need to work harder. You need to read more books. You need to do more journaling and more meditating about what your purpose is. And then I was out for a walk a couple days later, and it kind of dawned on me that I wasn't judging anybody else in that room. I would never judge somebody else and think that they don't have a purpose. And yet here I was judging myself so harshly for not having it dialed in and not having a great elevator pitch around my purpose. And from that moment on, I find and I think and I believe that it's important for us, especially if you are a leader in this industry in any capacity, even in your town, it's important for us to understand that everybody has a purpose just for being themselves. And I do believe that that purpose is truly just to be you. Now, the challenge is to be the full expression of you, which I think is really what that purpose is. It's our purpose is to be ourselves. And then the challenge or the hero's journey is to allow that full expression of yourself to come out. And that has been my experience, and it's the experience of the people that I work with, right? When we're finding like we have that desire in our heart, and yet we have to cover it up, which was so much of my shyness as a kid. Just from the way that the environment that I grew up in, it was very loving, but it was also quite tense. There was a lot of financial pressure. There was tension between my parents, who eventually got divorced. And as a kid, my role was to like keep the peace, right? Peacemaker, mend and attend, all of those responses. And so when I would go into any other environment, I was very shy and yet very alert, looking at everybody, taking in the room, what kind of response is needed here. And I had molded myself over time to just be almost like a chameleon in any circumstance that I was put in. Now, that's benefited me later in my life, but the journey, the full expression of who I am, was to allow those challenges to be a part of my journey and to let that inner child, that um, I'm just imagining like an inner glow that we all have when we're children, to now bring that into my life and live the truest expression of who I am in combination with all of the life experiences that I've had. So I think that's what redefining purpose really means to me. Your purpose is to be you. My purpose is to be me. And then the journey and the challenge that it took me many, many, many years and thousands of dollars and many books and lots of time to understand is how to live out that full expression of who I am and what that desire was in my heart, which was to make an impact, is to make an impact in the world. And when I was a kid, I judged that quite a bit. Like I thought you had to make this huge, big impact and impact many, many, many people in order to like have a purpose. And now looking back on that, I find that thinking very flawed. And I think about some of the most influential people in my life, and they have had a tremendous impact, not only on me, but on the people in their communities, right? Some of those communities are quite small. And yet that doesn't mean that they don't have a purpose. And so I'll leave you with this today. I want you to grab a sticky note. Here's my sticky notepad. And write on that sticky note, today I will live the fullest expression of myself. Keep that sticky note there for a couple of weeks, right? Maybe a month. And even if it's one tiny step, just ask yourself, how can you live the fullest expression of who you are today? And again, it might be a tiny step. If you feel like you have had to create an armor and protect yourself from the life experiences that you have had, this can be one simple step at a time. It can start in your own home. And then from there, you can start to expand it out and let other people in and let other people see it. Okay, so that is a little mini challenge for you if it feels good to you. And I would love to know your thoughts about this. It's an interesting journey here to redefine what all of these words that are so often used in our industry, in the personal development industry, and to really sit down and think about what that word means to you. So as always, I would love to hear your thoughts. And I hope you enjoy reading the entire magazine and all of the articles. I'll see you next time.
This is Body Mind Living with Laura Wick. Thanks for watching.